you can come to Europe with your HND and for masters directly, not even for BSc.
Now you're not only studying at the masters with your HND, but it's even fully funded.
So I think the discrimination is just in Nigeria.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us in another episode. My name is Mike, as you all know me. I have here with me Ebuka Dike, who has a very interesting story. Today, we're focusing on studying abroad with HND. I'd like Ebuka to first introduce himself.
My name is Dike Ebuka. I am from Nigeria, but I'm studying smart industrial engineering in Italy. I studied in Nigeria, Kwara State Polytechnic, Ilorin. I'm a HND holder. I am here in Italy now, studying smart industrial engineering with my HND. Of course, that's why we're here today, so we can talk to people how possible it is, because it is possible for me, and that means the road is clear. There's no crooked way. You can come to Europe with your HND and for masters directly, not even for BSc.
Tell us a bit about the HND qualification in Nigeria, and what is it compared with when you talk about qualifications in general?
I think the discrimination is just in Nigeria. I'm not sure it's beyond Nigeria, because HND in Nigeria, people give that discrimination that it is not at the level of BSc. So you see people going after the HND, they go and do something they call PGD, postgraduate diploma, so that they can get a certificate that equates to BSc. They study that for 1.5 years, that's 18 months. I think Kwara State University does that for HND holders. So they go to the school, they apply and they get the admission, and then they study for another 1 year, 6 months, 18 months for the PGD, postgraduate degree. And when they come out, they just give them a certificate that says they are now a BSc holders. I don't think it's necessary to go through all that. That's 1 year, 6 months you spend there. You can as well use it here, and then you're done with your master's degree. So I think the discrimination is just in Nigeria, not abroad, not in Europe.
When people do this postgraduate qualification, they only use that in Nigeria, or they can also use that abroad?
They're going to issue you a certificate. Let's say you studied engineering in your HND. So they're going to give you B engineering after the postgraduate diploma. So that means they've converted your HND to BSc or B engineering. In your own case now, you have the HND and B engineering together.
Well, that's not so bad. You have two qualifications.
It's not so bad, but then the time you spend in getting that, you could have used it to get a master's degree.
For someone who is listening that has an HND qualification in Nigeria and they want to further their studies abroad, how should they go about it?
I will not say the process is simple. It's not really simple, but then if you are determined, you are going to achieve it. To study in Italy, let's use HND as the case study here. So you can just apply to universities. You may probably check the requirements. In some university, you will see in their requirements, they are asking for your HND plus your BSc, because I think some of these universities know that in Nigeria, we go further to get a BSc after our HND. And some don't really see the necessity. They just look at what you've studied, your transcripts, your scores, the courses you did in your undergraduate, and then if it aligns with the course that you're applying for, they give you the admission. I think Europe is very straightforward with that. So the process is not that difficult and it's not that easy, but then you have to be determined. First of all, you have to apply for the admission, regardless. Though you can check as many schools as possible, you have to check their requirements and see the possibilities of you applying to that particular course. If your course or if what you studied in the HND aligns with the course you are going for masters, I think you have a chance. And then when you check all these things and you apply, I will give us the basic requirements. The basic requirements are your certificates, your transcripts, your English certificate. Probably you can get an English certificate from your school, or you can get anyone online. Some schools make specification for the English certificate, but I used Duolingo. There's an online English certificate called Duolingo. You can register it. They will give you 19 days to prepare for the exam. So within that time, you can write the exam, and then your result comes out in 2 days. So you can use that to apply. And then your CV, your motivation letter, and then some reference letter, some recommendation letter from your professors, your lecturers, or somebody whom you have worked with who would like to recommend you. Sometimes these recommendations, the school may want to get it directly from the professor direct. So what they do, they ask you to provide the email address of your reference, and then you provide your email address, and then they send them email direct and they reply to them direct. So it doesn't have to come through you. Or you can also have one from them, maybe whoever is your reference, you just have a letter of reference from them, and then you can upload it if you are not required to just give them their email so that they can send directly. You can have a written one for yourself that you can always upload when you are asked to load such things. Your motivation letter also, there are schools that don't need you to write a whole lot of words. They just want you to write probably 200 words, 500 words, or maybe 100 words. They'll just provide the space for you. Like University of Florence, they do that in Italy here. University of Florence do that. They just give you a small space to write a little motivation. I think University of Palermo do that in Italy here. They just give you a small space. You write small thing about yourself and then you send. But in any case, these are the basic requirements. Your certificates, both your HND and the ND certificates, your transcripts, the motivation letter, the English letters or certificates, and then reference letters. Those are just the basic things. So whatever the school asks for, these are the basic things that you need to get your admission. So if you have all these and you apply, what's going to happen next is you'll be waiting for your admission. And I advise people to apply as many schools as possible because you don't know which one may fall in for you. So you just have to apply as many as possible. Hopefully you apply like 10 and then you get 3. You apply 15, you apply 10, you get 3, you get 2. That's enough. What Italy does is after you must have gotten your admission, you have to legalize your documents. Before you legalize these documents, you have to go through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Ministry of Education. So they also authenticate your documents to make sure that it's coming from the university direct and your documents are authentic. You are going to do all these things. And then when you come to the embassy for legalization, after the legalization, the embassy is going to issue you something called Declaration of Value, DOV. So that Declaration of Value, it has equated your certificate and transcript to Italy standard. That means you have already converted your HND to Italy standard. Standard certificate, it gives you one document that says you are qualified for a master's degree.
This DOV is issued by the Italian embassy in your home country, so in Nigeria.
Yes, the Italian embassy in your home country, in Nigeria. They issue it to you. Sometimes you will request for it. Now let me give you, there are 2 instances. When you apply for admission and you get the admission, you are going to pick a particular school and you say this is the school I want to attend. You have to first of all pick one school. Even if you get admission to 10 schools, you have to pick only one. So when you pick one, that means you are going to do something called pre-enrollment. You are going to apply to the school, and that means you are choosing the school. Pre-enrollment means you are choosing this particular school to attend in Italy. So once you have picked that school, the school is still going to accept you again. They are still going to accept that pre-enrollment again. And this pre-enrollment is most times accepted by the department coordinator because the admissions are handled by the department coordinators, not the entire school. Just like we do in Nigeria, that you say admission list is out. No, it's not like that here. You get your admission via mail. Every department have their time of application. Some they do it together, some they do it differently, and their packages are different. The department coordinator is going to accept that pre-enrollment, and when it's accepted, then there's a place called Universitali. That is where you go to do this pre-enrollment, and the coordinator will accept it. Once you do this pre-enrollment on that Universitali, that site is going to give you a document called your pre-enrollment summary. That pre-enrollment summary, it carries all your details, the university you applied to, the course that you were given the admission into, and probably if you get a scholarship, it is going to be written there as well. When you get that pre-enrollment summary, you are going to go with it to the Italian embassy. When you go there, the pre-enrollment means that you are not going to pay for any legalization. It is going to be free for all your educational documents. So unless you are going to legalize things like your birth certificates, marriage certificate if you are married, any affidavit that you have, if you are going to legalize all those ones too, then you are going to pay for it. But with your pre-enrollment summary stating that you have gotten admission, all your educational documents, your transcript, your certificates, they are all for free. Now there's another process again. If you don't want to wait for your admission before you legalize, you can just book an appointment and go to the Italian embassy to legalize your documents so that you can get your DOV. You may not want to wait for admission, because if you have your DOV, it's easier for the Italian schools to see your qualification. They don't have to do the putting together your HND and ND. In your DOV, it is together already.
Help me understand, who does this DOV exactly? Is it the Italian embassy in Nigeria or the school in Italy?
Yeah, the Italian embassy in Nigeria, the consulate.
They do the DOV. So that means they check your transcript of academic record, your HND qualification.
They're in Nigeria, they know it, and they go through your transcript as well. And for the fact that you have gotten admission earlier, it's even easier for them. They don't have to check again, they just issue you. But if you've not gotten admission, they are going to do the checking.
On what basis do you get then the admission from the Italian university if this DOV is not done yet when you apply for a master's degree? I want to understand what's the basis of them granting you that admission when the DOV is not done yet.
If your DOV is not done yet and you want to apply for admission, the secret is you have your HND certificate and your ND certificates. You know, there are two certificates now. Your transcript, there are different certificates. Now, it's a trick. You have to merge the certificates together, merge them into one PDF file. So when you are asked to upload certificates, you don't upload only one and then upload another one again. Sometimes people ask this question that if I am asked to upload certificates, I have my ND, I have my HND, which one am I supposed to upload? Because if you upload only your HND certificate, it is not enough, because when you upload your transcript and you upload only your HND transcript, the transcript course is not enough. They need to add all the scores you've gotten from all the credits from your ND down to your HND. So even your HND certificate, you merge the transcript, you merge, and when you are asked to upload transcript, you upload it at once.
Makes a lot of sense.
Because it is even stressful for the admission officer to go through one certificate, one transcript, go to another transcript, and go to another certificate. So it takes a lot of time, and you know, these Europeans or Italians, they don't really have that much time to check all these things. So what they do is they like to go straight forward to the point. Merge these two certificates together, merge your transcripts together, upload as one file. So you get a better chance when these things are together, because they do not have this time to check and begin to look for courses different places.
You're saying that what people should know is when you're asked for your degree qualification, then you have a merged version of your OND and your HND as one document, and that is your degree qualification. And then for your transcript, you merge your OND transcript and your HND transcript as one document, and that's your full transcript of academic record.
That's your full transcript. So it's even better for them because they have a whole lot of transcripts to look at, and they see all that you have gone through, all the studies that you've gone through, and the years that you've gone through all these studies. You know, HND is even 4 years. Sometimes we say 5 years because you go for industrial training. So what they need is 3 years, but then you've already studied for 4 years.
4 or 5 years,
and you have all these things to show.
I feel like it's really sad that people don't have this information, and so many people that genuinely want to study abroad, they have good qualification and all, they just don't know how to go about it. And now let's even get to the more interesting parts, the scholarship. Now you're not only studying at the masters with your HND, but it's even fully funded.